Today on Unplugged with Tony Sakala, we have Adam N. Williams. Adam is a personal strength and healing coach, voluntarist, an avatar master, and a former financial professional on Wall Street. All right,
Yeah,
I like to start with a casual chit chat. Welcome to the show,
absolutely.
Adam.
Man, it's so great to be with you, man. I appreciate you.
It's been a long time since we really connected.
Yeah, I mean, it was very special at the pro course.
Pro course,
In
yeah.
what month was that? Was that April or
But
May?
April, May, I think it was like end of May, beginning of June. Yeah.
Yeah. That was very cool having dinner and again to spend some time with you. So yeah, awesome.
So I was so excited to come up with the podcast idea, inspired in part by you. You're living your life big. You're out there. You're telling people, what you believe and how you see the matrix, what you see is going on, what's true for you. And I think that's really awesome. Not to, to hold back, not to hold back at all, and to just tell people, hey, this is what's real for me.
I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, I'm on Facebook for 16 years now. That's my
Wow.
primary mechanism is Facebook, uh, for better or worse. Um, and but one of my clients, I'm not sure. Have you ever seen the sport coat symposium I do with Michael Sylvia? You seen that?
I've seen you're promoting it. I haven't
Mm.
seen it
Watch it,
yet.
yeah. So he's one of my online fitness clients. Amazing voluntarist. You would love him. And man of principles and integrity. And we've done these sessions on Facebook Live, and had guests and whatnot. And what Michael said is that, I mean, what I think you and I both believe, there is a good versus evil spiritual battle happening in this world. It's pretty clear. And one of the
Yeah, that's
places,
definitely true. At a certain level of consciousness, that is very, very true. Uh,
yeah, it's just kind of not up for debate, if you're paying attention.
yes.
And he said that Facebook is one of the places where it's happening. So that's where I will serve. So, you know,
Nice.
sounds reasonable. Yeah.
One of the battlegrounds.
One of
You're
the
taking that one.
battlegrounds.
Yes.
That's the battleground. So that's why I
Hmm.
spent so much time moderating posts and talking about liberty and talking about freedom and unplugging from this matrix, which I believe is the topic of of our chat, and ways to be healthy and happy and well.
Well, fantastic. Yes, there aren't too many of you out there. Voluntarist. They say it?
Voluntaryist. There's a Y in there. Voluntaryist.
Voluntaryism. Get the why. I miss the why sometimes. Yeah, voluntaryism. So there aren't too many voluntarists out there. You've got Mary Ruwart, who's also a wizard, doing
Exactly.
great work.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you know. I met her at in person at the Midwest Peace and Liberty Festival. This goes back to a post that I wrote a few days ago. Did you see my crypto post that I made
Yes.
about? Yeah, you saw that one.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you're letting it go. Letting go.
You're
Yeah,
letting it
letting
go a
go.
couple days ago. So I spent 3.6 Bitcoin in 2017 to when I was, as you know, I was living in Netherlands for 6 years. I went there to pursue my now wife, Lolta, who you've met. And one of my crypto projects that went to zero, the only reason I got funds from it is because I was helping someone else. And a guy messaged me that was involved. It was called Ribbit Rewards, RBR. It was a top 10 coin in 2014, 2015. Went to zero. That didn't work. And it was a good idea, though. It was like putting, um, what do we call it when we have airplane miles and reward points?
Reward points. Yeah.
Putting reward points on blockchain. That was
Sure. That's
the
a great
thesis.
idea.
It was
Yeah.
an awesome idea. It just, it was too early, whatever timing.
Too early.
Yeah. So, guy messaged me. I was living in Arnhem, living in a tent in Arnhem, Netherlands, with my now wife because I couldn't get an apartment at that time yet. My first year or two there in Netherlands, rebuilding after destroying my first seven-figure fortune uh, after 17 years on Wall Street. And a guy messaged me and he's like, Adam, there's an exchange offer happening now. Can you please get me in contact with the people? I'm like, sure. Contact them to help the guy. And I said, oh, Adam, I have your employment contract right here. Do you want a million, whatever the coin was? It was something different. Or you want 3.6 Bitcoin? Send me the Bitcoin, dude. 10,000 Bitcoin.
Nice.
I want the million of XYZ. And I used that to meet my niece, who was born my sister's first child, and speak at the Midwest Peace and Liberty Paved My Own Way to be with Jeffrey Tucker and Dana Martin and Dr. Mary Ruart there. And these are the things we've done with crypto, and that's what it cost. It was
Hey, well, yeah, I mean,
it was a
you can't,
$10,000
it
trip
was,
at the time, and now it's a $360,000 trip. But it is what it is.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, now, yeah, yeah, you're on the other side of that and you see it for what it is. I mean, we've all spent some Bitcoin, we've all spent some crypto. We all realized that, we didn't know we were in so early. We didn't realize the
Yeah,
value. Yeah, they were
we didn't we
literally
didn't
giving it away.
we didn't know it was going to go up 13,000% in 10 years. We didn't know that. So it
Yeah,
is what it
yeah,
is. Keep
yeah,
moving forward.
exactly. We kind of hoped, but I don't
Yeah,
think, yeah, I don't think we really, yeah. Anyway.
yeah, yeah. I think it all comes down to beliefs. Like we've learned in Avatar. Some people really believed, and they never sold, or they didn't sell for a very long time. And
Yeah,
and
the
they
hodlers.
always, yeah. But look, when I got paid in crypto for coaching people in 2017, when it was at 17,000, and I sold it to pay for rent and pay for my life, as I did every single time I got crypto, and went to 3,000 in 2018. Thought
So
I was
hey, you
really
were
smart.
ahead, right?
Thought I
You
was
were
really
ahead.
smart, but it is what it is.
Well, I think with Avatar, we recognize that we're in different belief systems and how they change our life, how they add a course to our life. And I think that's the difference between maybe Avatar and some other groups is like we can say, I'm going to wear this hat today. I'm going to be a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm going to be a hodler and know that you're in a cult. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's a cult." And it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
sure.
it's a cult.
Yeah.
And but we're choosing to be in that belief system to have a certain experience.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's really nice way to look at it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's about living deliberately. And I think that's one of the strengths that you come out with. You're like, hey, I'm doing this. And you put it out there because, then you're accountable, man. People are
I
like,
put it
oh,
out
okay.
there. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that you have some terrifying demons in the closet, or skeletons in the closet that you wouldn't like people to know about, and I have those as well. But what I've done on Facebook for many years is just be very vulnerable, and share and share and overshare, and it's created a lot of credibility, and a lot of people tell me all their secrets when I get them on the phone, because I keep the secrets and I don't tell other people that stuff, and I reciprocate those things. And I think that you know uh, probably the hope right now with the new administration coming in is that there's a new era of truth, trust, and transparency and accountability. That's the hope,
Right.
that's
Well, that's
probably
what we choose to believe, right? Because
what we choose to
that's
believe,
gonna give
right?
us well, it's gonna give us our best outcome. We have some doubts, I'm sure, but we have technology to work through those doubts.
Absolutely, man. Excellent. Great.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone pointed out, that he was an elite maximalist. Have you ever heard that phrase?
No,
So these are
what's
the
that
people
mean,
who believe that the elite run everything and that they're infallible. Like not infallible so much as they're unconquerable. Like anything that happens, they chose
bro?
Trump to be in. They chose
Yeah,
for that to happen.
yeah,
All of that.
yeah, Yeah. Right. Yeah. Another one of those ones is conspiracy maximalist. Every single thing is crisis actors. The assassination
Hmm.
of the United Health CEO a few days ago was crisis
Hmm.
act. Didn't really happen, you know.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, we all have different filters and beliefs that we choose to experience the world through. For me, um, I take almost everything that I'm not physically seeing with my own eyes as 50-50. Like, did we go to the moon? 50-50.
You weren't
Um,
there, right? You can't
I wasn't
tell us
there,
because you
dude. I
weren't
don't
there.
know. Is the earth
Nice.
flat? 50-50. Like I've watched a lot of
Hmm.
flat earth stuff, makes a lot of sense. Then I watched it's probably a globe, but I don't know. E- everything is I don't know. And that's one of the things I love about Harry. One of his talks is that the best answer most of the time is I don't know.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, well, because it's the most closest to truth.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't
Everything else,
know.
yeah, you're making it up otherwise. You're just going on someone else's. What did someone else say? Someone said we went to the moon. Someone said this or that. Yes. Now
Exactly.
you were
But what's
there at 9/11.
I was there 9/11. Yeah, man. So I was 23 years old at the time, and I worked at Merrill Lynch and the World Financial Center. Do you know what the World Financial Center is? Do you know what that building looks like?
I'm not, I don't know what it looks like. No.
Okay. So you remember the old World Trade Center, what that looked like. So
Sure.
across the street was three buildings, three or four. One had a kind of angular top, one had a round top, and that was just right across the street from the World Trade Center. And Lehman Brothers was in one, Merrill Lynch was in one, back in the day. So it was actually a perfect circle for me in my experience. I did not see either explosion, but I watched everything in between. So, do you know the author Michael Lewis? You know who that is?
I think so. Yeah.
Michael Lewis wrote a book called Liar's Poker. He's written
Yes.
several
Okay.
books
Yeah.
in
That's I have that
finance.
title. Yes. Hmm.
So we used to play Liar's Poker on the trading desk for breakfast. Whoever lost would buy breakfast for everybody else. All right.
Nice. Nice.
So we played Liar's Poker like always, 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., whatever, and 7:45, whatever it was. And I was in the elevator down when the first explosion happened on the North Tower, and that was when our rights and um, freedom went down. Just right there when I was in the elevator. So we walked out of the elevator, and as soon as we walked out, we saw all this smoke and people. There was a different energy. So I went down the escalator, and we went outside. Have you seen the movie? Um, what's the movie with DiCaprio and he's
Oh,
Wolf of Wall
yeah.
Street?
Inception. Oh
No, no,
no. Oh,
Wolf
The
of Wall
Wolf of
Street.
Wall Street.
Have you seen
Wolf of Wall
that?
Street. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there's a scene in Wolf of Wall Street when DiCaprio is on his boat with the FBI agent and he comes and, it messes with them and tells them to F off and whatever. So where that scene was filmed is where I watched 9/11. So we went outside. There was a bar called Moran's there, just right outside the World Trade Center. I was 400 meters away, 500 meters away from just across the street, and it was on fire. And I could see items and people jumping out of the building, coming out of the building. And remember, this is 2001, so there's no internet on phones. So there's nothing, you can't like Google it
Right.
to see what's going on.
Right.
We're just all standing there with, deer in headlights. What are we looking at? People said it was a bomb or a small plane or a big plane, no. And after about 15 minutes, I went back inside. So I didn't see either plane, if
Back
there was
inside
a
the
plane,
restaurant.
back inside to the building and back inside to the World Financial Center. Some
Oh,
people,
to the building on fire.
no, I went back inside the World Financial Center across the street.
To your center, to that center. Yes, you're
to
right.
where I
Yeah,
worked. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's where you work. Hmm.
And there's a lot of people that believe there was no planes, that was CGI and planes. I don't have any viewpoint on that because I don't know. I didn't see it.
You
I
didn't
don't
quite
know.
see that. Hmm.
So I was on the escalator up. So I was in the elevator down on the first explosion when because it wasn't happening yet when we left the trading floor. So it was when I was in the elevator, and then I was on the escalator up when the police state rose. Total circle, bro. And at the top of the escalator, people started running into the financial center because they had seen the explosion, screaming, dude, the most terror in my life. I thought I was good, imminent death. And everyone's just running everywhere and just total panic. We sprinted back to Merrill Lynch, and the turnstile guy didn't know whether to stop us or run with us. Jumped over the turnstile, went out the north part of the building, and walked outside. The only little military thing I saw was that there was a helicopter that landed there, just right north of the World Finance Center. Uh, 5 minutes after the no, 3 minutes, 2 minutes after the second explosion, and guy got out and he didn't look surprised. He just
Uh-huh.
was all ready to
He
go.
didn't look surprised. Everyone else was in shock, but this dude was like, "Okay, I know why I'm here."
I don't know, but look,
Wow, that
again,
was your impression. You saw
that
it. At
there's
least you
I,
saw that. That's a visual report there.
there's a,
Yeah.
there's a, there's several our memories fade as we age, but and I have another birthday yesterday, but I remember that, and it was noticeable. There was a girl who lived in my apartment building. I was living at 29th and 3rd at the time, and she worked at Lehman Brothers, and I happened to see her. I don't think I'd ever seen her before at work, and dude, just such a panic and fear and just upset. So I saw Leo Reza, who was the managing director in charge of the Nasdaq market for Merrill Lynch, and he said immediately, he said, "This is the start of the war." He was crying because he had friends in Cantor Fitzgerald, and I don't know if you remember Cantor Fitzgerald, dude. It was like 90% fatalities. There was direct hit
Right.
on the North Tower, and he had friends there, and he said, "This is the beginning of the war." Now I wasn't even thinking of that, yet, but he just immediately saw it. We went to his apartment. He had a amazing apartment in Tribeca, and there with a few other guys. One friend, Serge Vittel, who has unfriended me and is no longer connected because of my saying that 9/11 was an inside job. Took me about 7 years to learn that, 7 or 8 years watching
Uh,
uh, Zeitgeist, watching Loose Change.
Zeitgeist was a big
You
one.
probably,
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Zeitgeist Change.
Sure, sure.
It took me many years.
To
I was
develop the viewpoint. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, literally, like the next week, I was like, because I was a statist then, so I was a government
Right.
believer. So like the next week, when we were working in Jersey City, or like yeah, the market was closed for a week. Um, I was like, yeah, get them Muslims, just like everybody else.
Right.
That's what the
Right.
television said told us to
That's
do.
right.
Whenever
Yeah, the guy in the cave, he did it. They knew
he
right
did.
away. As soon as they identify the guy right away, you kind of have to ask yourself, yeah, really? You know this, right?
Yeah, they found the passports there, intact. Anyway,
Oh yeah,
so
the
we were at his
passport.
apartment in Tribeca, and we saw the the building, go down,
Collapse. Wow.
collapse on television, and I was like, close the windows, and then like 2 seconds later, like all this, dude, like right, like it was that close, like right,
Wow. I mean
right.
that all the powdered remains were really
Oh
now
my
that's
God,
what with
people got, I mean, all kinds of cancer from the asbestos, and
hmm
people that were working there are absolutely insane. My parents were actually in town in
Oh
that
wow.
that time, and so phones weren't working very well. Got my mother on the phone. She's crying. She thought I was she was thought I would
Sure,
maybe
she thought you were gone. Yeah.
was dead, because I would go to help. She's like, I thought you maybe
Hmm.
would help, and I walked to my apartment from Tribeca to 29th and 3rd, got my bike to their hotel, and my mom just broke down, when I got there and hugged, and they were, there was no flights anymore, so they were there for the week. So that
Sure.
was the
Yeah.
experience.
So it took you about 7 years to kind of unravel that. You see, at the time I was already questioning a lot of things being in the alternative health field. So I took my video tapes out and started taping everything. So you heard at the beginning of 9/11, they're like, it was a bomb. I heard bombs go off and like things that people heard on the street that were just from what they experienced personally. Do you notice when they called people? Well, maybe you weren't watching. I was watching from Dallas. They would call people and go, "Oh, we have a caller here, and he saw this, and he's like the nephew of the CNN, the producer, or the CNN producer's been working it from home. He's at 42nd Street. He said he saw the plane fly by his house. I mean, weird stuff like that. All the people who where they were talking to just happened to be media people.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. Yeah, it took me a long time because I was deep in believing in
But
government, at the
sure,
time.
well, and you were well, you were in the financial heartbeat of this country and doing well. So hey, it was
Yeah,
working for
yeah.
you.
You know the author who wrote The Jungle, Upton Sinclair,
Yeah, I think
right?
so. Yeah, sounds right.
So Upton Sinclair said it's difficult to uh, get a man, some paraphrase, it's difficult to get a man to understand what's wrong with his business or what he's doing when he gets paid for not understanding.
Exactly. Yes, I've heard that quote. Good paraphrase. There's a good paraphrase of it.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the
Yes,
exact.
exactly. You're not going to find the truth when the truth when your salary depends on it being false.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Well, again,
yeah.
it's the cult that you're in, right? I mean, the viewpoint. You don't want to look that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. It's we're always in some creation and in some group, and for me, the group I've chosen to be in is voluntarist, and the liberty movement has had a lot of iterations in the last 10 years, and um, a lot of disappointments, some triumphs. Um, I would love to see the world move to a more libertarian place. We're certainly not in a voluntary reality yet. So, while I do not support coercion, and state violence, and taxation, and war, and regulations, which lead to regulatory capture and rent seeking behavior, well, I don't support all that. I'm certainly rooting for Elon Musk and uh, Vivek to cut 2 trillion from the budget in year one, like they said they want
Mm-hmm.
to do, and
Mm-hmm.
rooting for Tulsi Gabbard to end the forever wars, and rooting for RFK
Mm-hmm.
Jr. to. I mean, RFK Jr. is not a libertarian. This is not a libertarian free market way to pick winners and losers and ban stuff. But dude, the food here versus Netherlands is terrible, bro. Like
I
it's
mean,
so
to
much.
make America healthy again. I mean, first of all, make America great again. Sounds like it's a great phrase. You know, it's been bastardized and, because of whose mouth it came out of. But I mean, the idea that to make America healthy again, who doesn't want that? Help America I watched those videos and photographs of people in the 50s. It's
Yeah,
crazy. I think I
yeah,
sent you a video recently,
yeah.
just, oh, every kid in high school was just had abs. I mean, just was
Yeah,
just
yeah. You see
thin.
the fitness programs they were doing back in the 50s, whatever, and working
Yes,
out.
yes.
I mean, just recently in Netherlands, it's 11% obesity, 50% obesity here. Same demographics, predominantly
Hmm.
vanilla people, and
Wow.
many nationalities of people living there, just like America.
Hmm.
And what's how can it be 40% different? It's
Hmm.
because of what is banned in Europe and what is available here, in terms of all of the pesticides and all the nonsense, all
Additives,
the
seed
additives,
oils, everything. Yeah,
seed
yeah.
oils,
I think
processed
I
foods.
saw oatmeal. Oatmeal here has a long list of ingredients, and oatmeal
Yeah,
there is just oatmeal.
this is oats.
Yeah,
Exactly.
oats.
Yeah,
Yeah, like oats and salt or something. Yeah, exactly.
100%. So
So like you said, the libertarian movement has had some disappointments. You were there, sort of. That's your first, my first ground zero experience that I remember for for you. And then you were also at like one of the early Anarchapulcos.
Yeah, so I spoke at Acapulco in 2017 and 2018 and spoke virtually in 2020. I think the first one was in 2014, so it was a couple years before. Maybe I was spoke at the fourth one or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And
And
yeah, it was, it was doubling in size every year. I think it was 1,500 people there in 2017 and 3,000 in 2018, and just absolutely amazing. I think I had 600 people in my speech in 2018.
it really was
I
growing dramatically, and
dramatic.
the it was the zeitgeist of that time. I mean, people really wanted to get together, and doing it there was really genius.
Oh yeah, Jeff Berwick did something really amazing with those events for sure. I've been to many Liberty events. I've been to Liberty Fest. I've been to Mark Pass. You know Mark Passio?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah, the natural law teacher. I've
Yes.
been to his For Your Mind. I've been to all kinds of
Hmm.
events, but yeah, where I was a speaker was at Acapulco and at Midwest Liberty Festival, maybe some other ones.
Can you give
And
us a quick overview? Because I know what it is, but maybe people listening
yeah,
don't know it.
sure. So Acapulco is an event that happens every year in like February in Acapulco, in Mexico, and it's the largest gathering of free thinkers, anarchists, and remember, anarchy is not a scary word like the government tries to make you think it is with all kinds of violence and mayhem. Anarchy comes from the Greek an, without, archon, ruler. It means a non-slavery situation. No masters, no slaves. Everyone has the same rights and responsibilities. When you explain it like that, it's kind of hard to be against it.
Sure.
Voluntarist is the other word I use. Anarchist, voluntarist, libertarian. Uh, Voluntarist means that you support a consent-based reality. So we have two ways to have life. We can have a consent-based reality where we shake hands and make agreements, or we have a coercive reality. We have a gun in our face, which is what the state is. Um, and then libertarian, so big L libertarian with a capital L is
Hmm.
people who vote, and small L libertarian, which is what I am, is people who do not vote, who don't participate in the that ritual. So
Hmm.
yeah, amazing event, all kinds of speakers. It's been I've met just so many amazing people there I'm still friends with, and just very very solid. 2018 was the best one. Many people believe. I opened, I think, day three, and Ron Paul closed day three on the main stage.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, really really special.
So there was some, controversy around it. You want to touch on, so what do you think happened there? Do you think, the controversy is just what a statist looks at an event like that and their reaction to it, or was there some kind of shenanigans going on? I mean,
Yeah,
obviously there was some
yeah. I
things.
mean, there were some shenanigans. There was a popular person got murdered.
Ooh,
The just before the 2019 event, he
mm,
was dealing drugs, in Mexico, which is not a good
okay, that's
idea.
dangerous. Not a great idea. No, no,
Definitely don't
no,
want to do that
no.
because the cartels will take you out. And yeah, very challenging and different stuff going on. But like with anything, do you know Josh Daly from Avatar Course?
Josh Daly, no.
He's been in Thailand for many years. He
Hmm.
has a great viewpoint. He said everything spirituality, everything education, everything workshops, everything learning. It's Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Go in, grab the thing, and get out. So everything is always just take the best of it, and make it yours. And
Hmm. Hmm.
the principles and the philosophy is more important than sometimes what happens with the organizations for now.
Sure. Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense because I know you've had your criticisms and sort of challenges recently, with the Avatar organization, with how they
You
handled
think?
things. Was it with COVID? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, for me, I refuse to work with any organization that did not condemn the plandemic, scamdemic, convid lie, which for me, we listen, we all have our own worst thing the state does. If you were in Afghanistan and your family is killed by a drone strike, the wars is the worst thing for you. There's taxation, there's so many things evil they do. For me, the lockdowns and the forced vaccination, which of course I did not submit to, are the biggest moral crime of all human history. 9/11 was 3,000 people died, and this thing, the lockdowns were the entire world. So yeah, any organization that did not condemn that, I'm not working with you, ever again.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I understand that viewpoint. Yeah, because I lost a lot of trust in a lot of the I came from a pretty mainstream background myself. So you've got the folks
Did you
at
vote for
Yale.
Obama in 2008?
No, I'm a small L guy, and no voting for
Uh,
me. Yeah.
oh, you never voted?
No.
Nice. Okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
My voting history, I voted for Obama in 2008. I thought, I mean, I just saw him
It
today,
was
I just saw him today, what he was saying, or yesterday, total projection, like on election integrity and weaponizing of government. I mean, it's just insane. It's as Harry says, this word that Harry says in the books, gobsmacking. Remember that
yes,
word? Yeah,
gobsmacking. Yes.
gobsmacking. It's gobsmacking how differently I feel about Obama now than before.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was so smart. He'd be up on stage and someone would quote some obscure book. He'd read it. Oh, dude, this is the guy. Like whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Voted for Obama in 2008. 2012, I started my political spiritual awakening. 2011, 2012 is my destroyed my first fortune. Voted for Gary Johnson, Libertarian candidate,
Sure. Sure. Of
2012.
course.
And 2016, I didn't vote, and I have never voted again, and never will. So not for
So,
not for not for federal elections. I mean, maybe something local,
sorry.
but no.
Local is a little different. Yeah, because
Local's totally different.
it's a difference. Yeah, I mean, working within your state, then you are that's I mean, the difference between working with the state and working with the feds is huge. And we had a huge win recently. I don't know if you're an LLC or a sole proprietor, but like 30 million or millions of LLCs were going to have to be coerced to send in their papers to FinCEN through the Corporate
Okay.
Transparency Act. Had you heard that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Not, I don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
analysis
Oh,
disease.
yeah.
Yeah.
Huge story. Congress was put together the Corporate Transparency Act. They're looking to make sure that foreign people aren't owning companies in the United States, laundering money. I mean, the whole story is basically what the Democrats did in Ukraine. But
Yeah,
I
dude,
digress.
Ukraine is so insane,
That's
bro.
that's a whole nother story. Yeah, so Corporate Transparency Act, I mean, it's nothing really, right? All you have to do, don't what do you have? Nothing to hide. You take your license or your passport and you send it to the feds and you tell the feds, here you go, I own this company, I'm a beneficiary in an LLC. And it didn't pertain to large companies. Large companies were exempt. So you when
Yeah,
you
dude. Ugh, it just makes me so
that
angry. All the regulatory capture, the rent seeking, and
oh,
it's. I mean,
it was
during
horrible. Horrible.
lockdowns, like all these small businesses destroyed,
Small
but
businesses destroyed.
Amazon and the big, grocery stores
Walmart.
can stay open, and Walmart.
Oh yeah.
It's so insane, bro.
Exactly. No, when we had our expo in 2020, we said, look, if it's safe to shop at Walmart, it's safe to come to the Wellness Expo. And
Exactly.
we found some new
What month
venues.
was that you did it?
Oh, it was we did the expo all throughout the COVID. We did not stop.
Oh,
We had to find a
awesome,
new
man. Yeah,
venue
good for you.
and we
In
yeah,
Texas?
in Texas. Yeah, we went from venue
Nice.
to venue. And venues were like offering half off because no one wanted to meet. So like, fine, we'll take a nice big venue for half off. And I just was like, I'm not having it. My wife's like, oh, I guess we're out of business. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. You show up and you step up and you make it happen.
One thing I noticed in terms of the global consciousness, I thought it was very profound. I posted about it. Other people thought it was profound. So whenever anyone has died, that's hated in these last 8, 10 years, be it a Rockefeller, be it a Rothschild, be it, I mean, Kissinger's still alive, but someone like that.
No,
Um,
Kissinger's gone.
oh, he died? Kissinger died? Okay, sorry. Anyway,
Right after
people like that.
right after he turned 100.
Oh, okay, sorry. Anyway, so
May he rest in peace.
yeah, yeah. So whenever anyone's died that's hated, and people are kind of celebrating the death, there's always a few people, hey guys, let's not dance on this person's grave. But the change I saw, dude, when this United Health CEO was assassinated a few days ago, bro, there was zero empathy for this man
I saw your
anywhere
posts.
on
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
anywhere online,
People were going nuts. They were like,
anywhere.
yeah, well, and what was written in the bullet casings, and that is pretty profound.
Yeah, yeah. And then the post that the company made, um, he's an astonishing man and service to the people, whatever. 60,000 reactions, 50,000 laugh reacts. That
Wow.
that that is a big change.
People are
And
waking up. Well, they
what
have to
what
wake up because, yeah.
what that says to me is number
Mhm.
one, people are starving for truth, trust, and transparency and
Hmm.
justice. And normal ways of trying to go about it have not been working, and they don't care how it happens. They just want it. That good or bad. I'm not making any judgment on if that's good for society or bad for society, but that's what I observed. And people were like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah, no, there was definitely a cathartic feeling among people. They were like, okay, some things seem to be turning around here. That had happened, and it's a horrible thing to think that now we're going to start. People are going to start shooting others in the streets, but to shoot them in the arm with a poison that is it's a bioweapon. It's
Dude,
just, totally a
it's
bioweapon.
exactly the same thing.
SV SV40 was found in it, simian virus 40. The DNA of those people, not only them, but their progeny are no longer. It's gotten into the DNA.
Bro, there was a
It
study.
changed.
There was a study. I don't. It was some humongous number of children. I want to say 1.7 million children. I don't have it committed to memory.
Hmm.
Humongous number. There was zero myocarditis and whatever the other thingy deal,
Hmm.
um, that in the non-vaccinated group. And if you look at the numbers for miscarriages, for these turbo cancers, I mean, it's off the charts.
Off the charts, absolutely.
Off the
Yeah.
charts, dude.
Hmm.
It's totally insane. So
Yeah. So that's our challenge in this world. We've got evil. It's like you said earlier, spinning back around. It's a spiritual war.
yeah, yeah.
So how do
So
we operate?
excellent. This is just what I was thinking. So what matters now is implementation. I'll say it again. What matters now is implementation. Study and research and writing and thinking is all wonderful. And there's billions of people that still need to do that. But for the people who can see what's going on, like I can, like you can, like, millions of people can, it's implementation. What can we build in the world? That's why I think what Javier Milei is doing in Argentina is so interesting, because this guy names his animals after Austrian economists, calls himself an anarcho-capitalist, has cut all kinds of bloat from the
Hmm.
government. The
Hmm.
society's
You got the
doing
chainsaw
better.
out. Yeah.
Chainsaw,
Yeah.
and he's actually implementing these principles. One of the things that I struggle with sometimes with my fellow anarchists, because there are some anarchy maximalists, and
Hmm.
they will not cheer for anything the state does, and it's all evil, whatever. And I get it, and I share those principles. I
Hmm.
want to live in that voluntary society also, but we're not there yet. And I believe it's everything happens with iterative steps. Like we're just gonna just wake up, in this new reality. Like
Exactly.
things have
Exactly.
to, there has to be a kind of process to it. So What I like to say is, not, I have a long sleeve shirt on. Otherwise, I show you my tattoos. I got a Jedi tattoo right here, and I have the
Nice.
Empire right here. So what I say is, I might be a Jedi, but that doesn't mean that I won't help the stormtroopers that are working to blow up the Death Star.
Right, right,
Right?
exactly. I mean,
Uh,
I mean, basically, you have to work with the people inside. People inside have to wake up too. You can't just be 5% of the people. Suddenly, we're going to change the world. It
yeah,
doesn't
dude,
work that way.
it's like, do you know Dave Smith? Do you know that person? He's a comedian
Which one?
on
Uh,
Instagram, The Problem Dave Smith. I think
okay.
he's 55 years old, and he's fairly popular libertarian commentator. He's just a lot of airplay, whatever. And he got up on stage. I think he's got better research than I do, and said there's between 1 and 2 million anarchist, voluntarist libertarians in America. So that's, you know, 2 million out
One
of
third of a
300.
percent.
Yeah, 200 out 2 million out of 340 million or something like that, So it's
Mm-hmm.
we need to get, more numbers, and it's just the educational process, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the iterative steps while we're doing the long-term education. Maybe my children won't, because you have kids, right? You're a grandfather, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll become a father in 3 or 4 years, God willing, for the first time at 50. Um, Maybe my children won't see a free reality, but maybe my grandchildren can. And it's up to
Mm-hmm.
us to, do our best to make that happen.
Well, I think one of the movies that made a big impact on me was It's a Beautiful Life.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
seen
the war movie, the
the
Italian
war movie?
people.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
the
you
father.
were
Yeah, the father.
the
The father
father.
dies. Father dies, but his family survives. Yeah.
It's yeah. So he's got his son
Oh, dude, it's
in
a
the camp.
great movie,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah. He's got his son
Uh,
in the camp, and it's like his son is like, okay, we're having fun, we're running around, we're playing. It's a game. He shields him from the
Grazie,
reality.
grazie, grazie. That's
Yeah,
great. I love it, man.
yeah. Yeah, so it's like I think that there's a message there that we can live within the system here and see it, make fun of it, not let it affect us. What is that other statement? Be so free, live your life so free that
Doesn't
uh
no, 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 nothing can touch you. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, exactly. And so I think we're seeing that. That's why I supported Bitcoin early on. That's why I uh co-founded a conference and a Bitcoin maximalist conference so that people could see that their solutions were coming and people are developing a way to trade. If you can hand someone money and not get PayPal involved, not get Venmo involved, it's so
Yeah.
convenient.
Peer to
But
peer,
it's
man. It's the best.
way, it's
Best.
horrible. The
Yeah.
convenience, leaning on convenience is a horrible thing because
Yeah.
people will
Yeah.
just give away their freedom. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
so, do you think that, like you said, maybe your grandchildren, but I think the important thing someone once said to me, we're talking about Avatar, and she said, Harry believes that the enlightened civilization is already here. Like he sees it, it's already here for him. She could feel that. It was present, he had no secondaries. And I think that's really what our challenge is to live like it's already here, that
Yeah,
we
exactly.
pull it
Yeah.
in from
Very
the
important.
future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Everything comes down to beliefs, for sure.
So, the other question that I wanted to ask is, there's a lot of talk around that this is a simulation, and it's another way of looking at things. What's your take on reality?
You just remind me. I don't think I've actually ever watched the Truman Show. I don't think I've seen the whole movie.
Oh
I need
wow.
to watch that. Yeah. But yeah, when you look at The Matrix, and you look at V for Vendetta, and you look at these movies, it kind of shows that Dinner with Andre. Different depictions of what's going on. Um, eh, like I said before, for myself personally, I take the perspective of, if I can't physically see it with my own eyes, I'm 50-50, So are we in a computer simulation or some kind of, I mean, are we literally plugged in to the Matrix, like in the movie? I don't know. But Um,
Well, here's my
the
question.
the
Yeah,
mission continues regardless, whatever it is. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
regardless.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
But clarify.
I guess it's this you know, what we see and what we experience with Avatar. I mean, you came out of your initiation. I mean, you were different after that. Like, did
Yeah,
you
sure.
feel that that was an unplugging? Did you get a sense of being unplugged?
Absolutely. I have had many moments of awakening and different modalities, Avatar, being one of them, and I'm very grateful for the tools and I still use them every day. The serious drill, tool that we learned in the master's course is hands down the most powerful thing that I've ever learned, and that helps me in my life to be able to appreciate people and um, be calm and be present. It's so powerful. I had a I had a client who's going to sign up in a couple of days. I've known for a long
Hmm.
time. He's in a lot of pain. Guy started screaming at me on the phone
Hmm.
yesterday. Lolta was listening, and I actually kind of like conflict, and it doesn't bother me at all. For her, like she's like Adam, I would have been crying. Like there's a reason why I do the administration and you do the sales calls. Like I could never do that. Like I would be so I would lose confidence in myself, whatever. Um, and you know, the tools that we've learned there are absolutely great. So, are we in a simulation? I don't know. Is the answer to that question.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's a great answer. I certainly don't know, but I certainly entertain the idea
Absolutely.
that that there's levels of consciousness that we're operating on that are way broader than what we experience day to day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's just yeah, there's clearly something happening beyond what we can perceive, and um, I just think that the noble mission is to operate at the highest level of integrity and honesty and keeping your word and like keeping yourself in a high vibration. That's one of the key things. 3 ways to change your state is change your focus, change your environment, or change your movement with your body. And it's so critical to stay in a high vibration because the actions you need to take, if you're feeling bad, what are the results of the actions going to be? Not as good, as if you're in a higher place. So that's
Hmm.
the critical mission, and that's important no matter what is happening. There, have you seen a movie called Dark City with Kiefer Sutherland and Jennifer Connelly, 1998 or something?
I probably
No,
saw it. I forgot it. I forgot it.
great movie. And yeah, that kind of explores like a flat Earth, kind of concept, and
Uh-huh.
who knows? I mean, they lie about everything. I mean, why is the UN, flag a flat, Earth? Who
Hmm.
knows? But the point is, no matter what it is that we can see or not see, the noble mission of being honest, adhering to the non-aggression principle, which is to not aggress on anyone else, not take anything. All human morality comes down to one simple phrase: don't steal. And then the self-defense principle, both of these have been attacked by the state, is that no one is allowed to aggress upon you. So you can say no and mean it, and back it up with even lethal violence when someone is you know trying to take your life
Hmm.
or harm
Hmm.
your family.
So yeah, that's a great way of putting it. I never thought about it that way. But basically, the non-aggression principle is, don't do it to someone else. And if they're doing it to you, you can say no at any level of
At any
force
level of
that's
at any level,
required,
at
that's
any level,
necessary.
100%. Yeah, including ending the life of someone who would uh
Hmm.
who would do the worst tyranny to you. Yeah, you
Exactly.
have the
Exactly.
total moral obligation, not just right obligation.
Exactly.
Defend
That's
yourself
why
and
I'm
your
wearing
family.
this shirt today.
I wanted to know what the shirt was. I was going to ask you, but you were talking. What does it say?
Grab a gun.
That's great. I was gonna ask earlier, but I didn't know what.
Yeah, it's an online
Awesome.
store for guns. Yeah.
Great.
It's
Awesome.
funny because I mean, probably the first 55 or so years of my life, I mean, I had no interest in guns. Like,
Yeah.
growing up in the city, it was like, hoodlums had guns. That was it.
Yeah, I
So,
know. It's funny, right?
yeah.
What our
Hmm.
parents say to us, whatever. Yeah, I got my first weapon last year, and it's like I'll never not have one. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Living out here on the farm on a ranch, it's like, of course you have a gun. I mean, it's like,
The,
doesn't
the,
make any sense.
the
You're out
most
here in.
important the most important way you can say no.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's two legs, sometimes it's four legs. Depends.
100%.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we covered a lot of ground. Anything else you
Just
want to share with folks?
awesome. Yeah, I just want to share what I do. So,
Yeah.
I'm an online strength and healing coach. I help voluntarists build muscle in their best healed body. I've been coaching people online for 9 years, coached hundreds of people. I know, Tony, you've seen many transformations and testimonials from my clients. So if you're someone that wants to uh, become your best self, the thing is, while personal development and spiritual development are important, our soul and our mind cannot drive themselves around in this world, or only our body can do that. And so, becoming strong, becoming physically powerful, becoming healthy is absolutely the most important thing. So, if something like that sounds wonderful for you, then definitely reach out to me. I'm sure Tony will have some ways to get a hold of me. My Instagram and my Facebook are the best ways. Adam and Williams on both of those.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll put links to all of your socials. I love the way you said that. It's like, so basically you got your spirit, you got your mind,
Yeah,
and they're sitting in a body. And what kind of body do you want to have? How do you
yeah,
want to get around in the world?
100%.
Exactly.
Brother.
Love it.
Thank you so much for
Take care,
having me
brother.
on. This is
Fabulous.
well,
It's been
absolutely wonderful and definitely covered a lot of ground. And I look forward to the next one.
me too. Take care, brother.
Thank you, sir.